I reached like Master Guardian Elite in CSGO with a trackpad. Get on my level, scrub.
The trackpad.
Hello there, everybody. Welcome to episode 3 of Shitposting with the Lads. I'll be your host for today, Michael, of course. And we're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff from the past today. We won't be having a one good thing, one bad thing for the beginning of this episode because this is only being recorded like 2 days after the episode 2. So we're just going to go straight into the first topic, which is why haven't we outgrown quote unquote childish things? And we can start with Skyler.
So I think for me and you, the thing that comes to mind is going to be anime, which obviously has a kind of childish connotation. I think that's starting to change in recent years, though, and I would definitely attribute the changing of the medium and the types of shows that we consume as being why we haven't outgrown these things, because it's easy for us to kind of keep consuming this genre as it kind of grows up with us. And I think we can segue into talking about a larger discussion about anime with older characters or about scenarios that affect older people, instead of just the typical high school everything that anime is usually known for. But I think for the specific topic of anime and why we haven't outgrown anime, that would be my response, is that the medium almost kind of grew up with us, or at least we discovered more adult things about the medium that kept us interested.
Yeah, so like my opinion on it is actually like anime is just like not really a childish thing, and it's just like people I guess when we were growing up, like in America, I guess, like there just wasn't the concept of having like adult anime, because like anime that were popular in the US were only like targeted towards like younger children or like at most like teens, I guess. And then as like anime has gotten more popular, I think it's like people are more like okay with the idea of like older anime, and like part of it is also like the cartoony, or like people associate like animated content with like younger kids, but because that's like how it is in the West. But like I think as anime gets more popular, that kind of idea will kind of fall away. But Tiger, what do you think about that?
I agree, yeah.
Personally, I think if there's an anime and there's like a live action TV show that are like the story's the same, the characters are the same, but like it's like adapted to each, I think I will still like the live action one more. And
you
partially
you like live action Death Note, live action Dragon Ball.
no, but like what I'm saying is that those, well, I haven't seen those, but those are like poorly made, is what I'm saying.
They're awful.
But I'm saying like
awful.
Yeah.
They're
But
never
I'm saying
good.
if-
Dude. It's a
if-
fucking meme. The Netflix live action adaptation is always trash.
no, that's not okay. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like if there was like a magic wand to like create an anime and TV show that are like the same, but the only difference is like the art style. I'll like the live action one more, and it's not because I like live action anime. I just don't like the anime style as much.
I think that's actually like a large reason why anime is viewed as like more childish, because like in the West, like cartoons that are animated are always like targeted towards kids, and like because of that.
But it's not even that though, because a lot of my favorite shows are animated as well, but they're just not animes, right?
Okay.
Like BoJack, South Park, Rick and Morty. These are all like animated shows that are popular.
Okay, that's fair.
And like not
So
just
you're saying
with
you would rather have a live action BoJack Horseman? I feel like that'd be really fucking weird. Like, how would you
no.
really
That's
like
not
a
what I'm saying.
CGI?
I'm saying like anime. I'm not talking about like what Western cartoons.
Wait, but
I
what's the
think the
difference
only
then?
live action anime I've seen that works well in the live action setting would probably be like the one live action Gintama movie I've seen. And I was actually going to bring this up. I think the anime and kind of cartoon style humor does not translate well to live action. Like the zany facial
Yeah,
expressions,
but
like the
that just
changes in art style.
right. But that just might be why I don't like the anime style as much. It might just be the other things that are accompanying the animation, like what you were saying, like the style of speech,
Could be like
humor, and stuff like that.
you just don't like the anime isms.
I guess, but it's not like I have anything against it. Just when I do watch anime or when I try to watch it, I lose attention or like I lose my interest quicker.
Interesting. But
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
I don't know. Like,
For me,
Yeah,
it's
right.
almost force of habit at this point. It's just because I've been in this medium and consuming this medium for so long. It's almost just like, and I talk to people about this medium. They introduce new shows, blah blah blah. It's just I never got to a point where it's just like this medium has nothing to offer me anymore. I haven't gotten to that point. And
Right.
So apparently, I don't
Like-
remember this, but I told Michael like back in the day in high school, I said that felt like I was going to outgrow anime, and that definitely hasn't happened. I don't think it's off the table though, or I don't think I'll ever outgrow anime. It might just be like I'll start gravitating towards other things.
I personally,
I don't think there'll ever be a point where I just write it off and be like, I'm never gonna watch another fucking anime. God damn this Japanese. Like, no, I don't think that's ever gonna happen.
okay, I guess it's like it's hard for me right now to see where I could ever like stop watching anime because like right now I'm at the point where like anime is like such a big part of my life that like I couldn't ever really see just like see myself like stop watching anime completely. And it's like kind of similar for me with like Pokemon. So like one of the things that like related to this topic of like outgrowing like quote unquote childish things is like for me like I always get like that thing where it's like, wow, you still play Pokemon? You're like fucking almost 20 years old, right? Like Pokemon
Dude,
is like
I
for
bought
kids.
the Switch just to play the Pokemon. That means I spent like fucking however much the Switch cost to fucking play Pokemon Shield, which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But like
Okay, now that I think about it a little bit more, I think it might just be not an anime thing. It might be like a Japanese thing. Because I also watch childish, stupid Western TV shows. So that's not the reason why I don't like anime, right?
I mean, like
I watch and enjoyed Stranger Things, and it's basically a bunch of kids like messing around with stupid shit.
I guess it's probably because
then-
like okay.
I watched a little bit of Stranger Things, and I definitely I didn't get anime vibes from Stranger
Well,
Things.
Right, yeah.
but he's just saying,
that's
like-
what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that Stranger Things is about like kids and like teen stuff, and I still enjoyed that.
But
so
like
I don't
the
think that's
subject
why I
matter
didn't.
is still dark, right? It's
Stranger
like,
Things?
If it was, yeah, I mean, if it's a slice of life with those kids, like, do you think you would still watch the show? I doubt it.
I don't think Stranger Things have a dark theme. It's like at most equivalent to like a shonen.
Dude, wasn't the fucking mom like having a mental breakdown? She was hearing her kids.
Yeah, but
was
that's
in the
like
halls,
normal
and
in
there's,
Western
nightmares.
stuff.
But that's not.
And then
That's
like
not dark.
child
I wouldn't say that's
experimentation
dark.
and shit. You don't think child experimentation is dark? All
They
right.
don't really talk about childish. That's how the main character got her powers. Spoiler alert. But that's not. I don't think that they really like talk about that.
Just to say spoiler
I
before.
don't think Stranger Things is a dark thing. Like, I definitely don't think Stranger Things is a dark.
But-
show.
I mean, like, would you show it to? Like, I wouldn't show it to like the average. It's like a really generic, like the fairy tale audience. I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, I feel like you'd like Stranger Things. You know what I mean?
Fairy. I don't even know who's supposed to watch Fairy Tale, but like I think
It's,
like
like,
a
younger.
14-year-old, like a 13
it's
or
like shonen,
14
which is,
year
like,
old
young
can
boys.
enjoy Stranger Things.
Yeah, but okay, so like I think that's like the core of the issue. It's just like for me, like the reason I don't watch Western, like I'm kind of like the opposite of Tiger, I guess. Like the more the Western TV stuff, like yeah, like occasionally there's like some good stuff in there, but like in general, I don't like the subject topics that they talk about, and it's just like it's more of like a cultural like thing, and I'm like more interested in like the subject matters and themes and stuff in anime, like in comparison, I guess. So like I watch like I guess I'm like more of an anomaly because like even amongst people who watch anime, I'm like one of the few people who like almost exclusively watches anime. Like I don't watch like Korean dramas, or I don't watch like American TV shows and like that kind of stuff. Like
Is that a conscious choice?
it's not a conscious choice really. Like I used to watch like The Simpsons a lot, for example, and South Park and some of these other shit. Like I used to watch a lot of American sitcoms, like Big Bang Theory and like Modern Family and that kind of stuff. But like when those shows ended, like I kind of just like stopped following. I didn't like find new stuff, I guess, and I'm just like more in tune with anime, like in general. So it was
Yeah.
just like yeah.
Yeah, so I think it might just be a cultural thing. I don't think I have anything against like anime style.
Yeah.
So thinking like yeah. So
I think
it
that's
might
like
just be that.
very fair because like the average anime show is just like completely different. Like you talk about different things and you talk about different like themes, and it's just like that than Western stuff, and like like exactly to the point of like, Tiger doesn't really think it's dark to talk about. Like I haven't watched Stranger Things, but like
No, Stranger Things. Okay,
about,
search those. Stranger Things is rated 14, so it means like freshmen in high school can like is rated that for them that it's like they can watch it. And then I say that is not because like rated 14 is 14, but like rated. I would say a lot of rated R stuff isn't even dark or that violent, and this is not that.
yeah,
If that
but
makes
like
sense,
my
yeah.
exact point is that like our perception of what's different, like me and Skyler, is like of like what is dark or what is like a darker subject matter is probably very different because of what we like watch a lot, right? Like anime,
So it
I
might
think,
be that, but like but Skylar watches a lot of Western shows as well, though.
I don't know if I'd say a lot, but I definitely don't
Okay.
like shy away from them. I think like the one of the few Western shows I've seen recently, like The Mandalorian, Rick and Morty.
I haven't seen that.
I will pick up. So Mandalorian's like Star Wars, right? There's an
Yeah.
aspect of it that's
But like Star
marketed
Wars is
towards
definitely
kids.
not dark. Star Wars is like
No,
kid
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
but yeah, like Skyler, you would say like in general, Western stuff is like you would consider darker, right? Like anime is not often doesn't like talk about darker subject matters, and like
But but
Yeah, and
is
that's
anime
definitely a function of the audience, the intended audience as well. I think.
in Japan? Are there animes that are like made and targeted towards adults?
yeah, there's
Like
Yeah,
I'm not
seinen.
talking about like targeted towards 17-year-olds. I'm talking about like targeted towards
Yeah.
like 25 and 30-year-olds. Okay.
yeah.
Do you guys watch those?
The one that comes to mind
Some.
is Berserk.
No, even like okay, so there's like there's a genre. Well, I mean, Skyler just named it seinen, but like shows like Bakuman and some of like the like older ones. I can't think of like
Wait,
everything.
is
but, like,
Bakuman the drawing one?
Yeah, I wouldn't say Bakuman's
The manga one?
uh,
drawing the
series
manga one?
aimed at an older audience.
is it not? I'm probably thinking of something else
Pretty
then.
shonen-y.
Wait, is
probably
Bakuman the
thinking of
drawing
something
the
else then.
anime one?
Yeah, I mean, like Death Note, I would say is rather.
No, Death
adult.
Note is average or aimed towards like teenage, like late teens, maybe at best. But like,
No, I feel like college students could enjoy Death Note. Actually, my
Yeah,
father
it's not-
enjoyed
it's
Death
not-
Note. He's like,
it's not like college students can't, but like Tiger's saying like towards like adult age people.
Yeah, so like past the college age, because like college students aren't really adults, like in terms of like maturity wise.
Yeah.
You know what
damn,
I'm saying.
But there are shows that are like that. It's just, I guess, probably not as
Tiger just shitting on
as many,
the
or-
entire college population.
No, it's not. I'm not hating. It's not a bad thing to like immature stuff. Like,
Well, it's also like
I said, I enjoy Stranger Things, but Stranger Things is definitely not targeted towards
yeah.
an adult.
But like
audience.
his point is like college students have a different level of maturity compared to like
Right,
when you're like
that's my
working.
point.
You have like a different perspective.
Right. Like, yeah. Wait, I was gonna ask, is Bakuman the manga drawing show?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I haven't watched it.
I've
I've
the same
seen
guy wrote
that
Death Note, I'm
one.
pretty
I've
sure.
actually seen that one, like from the start to end, like a long
Okay.
time ago, a middle school.
yeah. I read the whole manga for that one. I enjoyed it. I thought it was solid. I definitely didn't think it was like marketed towards older people. I think.
Yeah, it's not. I wouldn't say so either. I watched that in middle school and I really liked it, so I don't think it was targeted towards like an adult.
I think it actually appeared
audience.
in Shonen Jump, which Shonen Jump, right?
Oh yeah. Actually,
Okay,
it's like kind of about that. So
So seinen
Right.
anime, the
It
popular
was-
seinen anime that so Erased, I think Erased is like yeah, I think that's a fair one to say is like targeted towards a more adult audience.
Race. Okay.
Okay.
That's definitely dark, but I didn't like the part where like he turned back into kids and then all of the main characters are kids.
So I was about to bring up the fact that like anime with older, like for older people, seem to always have like this duality with a young / childish part to it. Like I watched Agretzko recently, and it's like about this working woman who's like trying to find her way in life, but the actual imagery is like the Sanrio characters, or like something like Made in Abyss, which has like the really kind of psychological horror side of it, but also like the really cutesy little kid adventure side to it too.
Yeah.
Or I guess those are the two examples that come to mind. What was the one you just talked about?
What like the one I just brought up?
Yeah.
Erased.
Oh yeah, where it's like the older guy transferring back to his younger self,
Yeah.
and to do shit there.
Well, okay, so like I think the best example of like a pretty popular anime that just recently aired that's like a adult focused show is like Vinland Saga. Like Vinland Saga is definitely not targeted towards like teens. It's targeted towards like an older audience.
Yeah, I've read all of Vinland Saga. Basically, it's a Viking manga. Yeah, Vinland Saga is always lumped in into discussions with like stuff like Berserk or Vagabond or Kingdom, which I haven't read, but like people say is good. I've read the other ones though.
But I think it's like completely fair to say that like when you compare anime and when you compare like Western TV, it's like Western TV is more targeted towards an older audience, like in general. And I think
depends on the show though. Depends on the show. Like,
well, yeah, but I'm saying like in general.
You don't, yeah. But it's because we're not talking about SpongeBob and like.
Yeah. But like, I mean, anime also has their fair share of like for very young kids stuff. So like.
Oh really? Okay, I did not.
Stuff like Doraemon or like, Pokemon is.
Dude, like Doraemon's actually good though. Doraemon's actually fucking good. I think I would watch Doraemon now.
You would? That's a
that's
a surprise.
The last time I watched Outgrown, I actually enjoyed it, and that was like middle school. But I think I'll actually still like it.
The anime, like or Japanese TV, or like it's quote unquote like really it's anime, has what the like U.S. has for like SpongeBob and stuff. There's like these shows that are like
about it,
but they're not popular in the U.S.
The like the childish anime shows that you were talking about, I think those are actually less anime-esque, which I think might be why I enjoy more. Like stuff like Doraemon, and there's another show. Fuck. I know what it's called in Chinese. I don't know what it's called in English. 蜡笔小新. I don't know if you guys know what that is.
Sailor Moon?
No, it's not. It's about this little kid.
Sorry, can you say that part again?
I'll show you guys a picture of
Okay.
him. You guys should recognize he's pretty famous dude.
Okay. It might be a Detective Conan.
No, it's not. Conan? I actually don't think Conan is for kids.
Okay.
Conan's definitely for kids. What are you talking about?
It's like kind of for kids. Yeah, it's for aimed for like 10-year-olds maybe, probably. Maybe a little bit younger.
Okay. Click this image. Oh, I'm sorry. It's huge. Can I find it on Google? I might be able to find it on Google.
The link doesn't work for me.
The link's not opening for me, yeah.
Okay, I'll find a Google link. I got it.
But yeah,
this guy. I feel like these shows are like less anime-esque, which is why I think I might enjoy it more.
Crayon
like, last time I watched this,
I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is called, but I've seen this before.
Yeah, that's like a.
We should definitely flash a graphic. Wait, Michael, share screen so people know what we're talking about.
Okay.
You're like show them this thing.
Otherwise,
we'd have to edit it in.
I feel like these shows are less like anime-esque. Do you know what I'm saying? That might be why I can't still watch this.
It just definitely feels like kiddie. It definitely feels like children's anime. It doesn't feel.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a children's
anime. Is like
actually, there's this really famous. There's this really famous scene with like, was it that show or like the hamster show where there's like a pervert who calls the hamster on the phone, and he's like asking the hamster to basically like have phone sex, with him, and she like answers in a really squeaky, high pitched voice, and he like totally gets off on it.
Okay, so it's this character for
You know what I'm talking about?
This character.
No,
Yes,
I have no
Joe
idea what the
Viewers.
fuck you're talking
What
about.
we're talking about.
Yeah, I have no idea.
All right, I'm gonna send you this clip off the air, but yeah.
Okay, so yeah. So like, I actually think like, for me, okay, so I think like anime in general is viewed like as like a quote unquote childish thing only because like it's not as exposed. Like the Western audience isn't as exposed to it, and it's like still a new concept. But like I think as the years go on, in like 10, 15 years, I don't think people will really be viewing it as like a childish thing.
Right. I think everyone should be like
Yeah.
open minded and give it a try. That's for sure. Because I think a
I think
lot
it's
of people
simply
just like pass it on
the
as like
popular
that's like
shows are for children, and so that becomes the general perception of it.
Yeah, like the well,
Right. Like
I think
remember
it's like
when Attack on Titan.
twofold.
Remember 2013 when Attack on Titan came out and it was fucking huge. Like I feel like Attack on Titan changed anime forever, dude.
Yeah, I think Attack on Titan is like one of the most influential shows for like Western anime. Like I think it
ever,
not even like one of it. It is probably the most influential show for Western anime. But yeah, like I think
actually
Like, what Gundam?
Uh-huh.
no,
Gundam.
Gundam is not influential in Western anime. Like yes, it is in like overall anime, but
Gundam Wing.
not for Western audiences. No, it's definitely not, dude. Like
It is, dude. It's like the old Toonami block. It was like Dragon Ball Z, Gundam Wing.
bro, nobody fuck like not fuck, I can't talk. A lot of the anime fans from now like haven't watched like Gundam. Like most of the people I know who watch anime, who are like more casual viewers of anime, who like have gotten into anime like kind of in the recent few years where like it's been getting more popular, haven't watched shows like Gundam Wing because it's like older.
Well, yeah, you're not Gundam Wing because I don't think Gundam Wing is the best that Gundam has to offer. But they probably
Or like Gundam at all.
Well, they've definitely heard of Gundam.
They've heard of it,
They've
but like
definitely heard of Gundam, and if they have, they've probably watched either the Origin series or the Unicorn series, which is actually basically just the stuff I've seen. But I feel like I watched pretty mainstream Gundam stuff.
But that's like I'm saying that's not like as influential as like Attack on Titan is. Like Attack on Titan, like almost every single Western fan of anime has like seen it or like knows like a lot about it.
Well, I'm saying relative to the I'm saying relative to the time period, right? Like Attack on Titan was huge in 2013, right? And like I don't know.
Well, it's not even
how
about
it went
2013.
to,
I just mean like
it was part of that first wave.
I just mean like anime has gotten so popular in the last like 5 years, and a lot of it is because, or like in the last since Attack on Titan has aired because of Attack on Titan. It's not like Gundam didn't cause other like
sure,
anime to like gain a lot of followers in the West. It's like anime hasn't become popular or like really making a big surge since like basically since Attack on Titan started airing, and then like even like a little bit after that, I guess. Like I would say like mostly in the last 5 years is where it's made its like big, how do you say it, like popularity surge in the U.S. and or not just the U.S. I just mean like in the West, and because of that, like I think like people are still like a little bit not everyone really knows about it, especially like the older generation, which aren't as in tune with like pop culture. But like I think like in 10, 15 years, we won't really see anime as like a childish thing, I guess.
Have you guys seen Attack on Titan?
I have not.
Yeah, I've seen first season, second season, and then I read the manga, so I watched clips for the third season.
Okay,
But I'm completely caught up on the manga.
I really like the twist because I haven't actually watched it, but my brother was watching the whole thing, and then the TV is like
There are
right
a
next
lot of twists in
me.
Attack on Titan.
No, I'm talking about the era twist, the time twist, like the because like
I don't know
you
what
would
you're
think
talking
because
about.
the
The
show was
basement
placed.
twist? Wait,
Sorry, what?
do you care about Attack on Titan spoilers, Michael?
I don't care about spoilers mostly because even if I do end up
Are you
going
going
to
to
watch
go
it,
back and watch this?
I'll probably like.
No, I'm talking.
I may at some point watch it, but like I don't care that much about spoilers. You want to talk about it?
Spoilers incoming for Attack on Titan.
I'm talking. Okay,
Go, Michael. Go, Tiger.
Yeah, I'm talking about the part where like they find out that they live on like the island and then off the
the basement
mainland and
reveal,
they like
yeah.
live that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought
yeah.
that was really cool Because
Yeah.
I never really liked mid like the era and like the time frame stuff. But then now they placed it in like a Victorian, almost steampunkish. And I thought that was really cool.
It definitely feel like I want to say like the 30s, 1930s ish. It felt like that almost like
Yeah. It's
because they well, actually when was the
relatively
plane
modern.
invented? They like barely have planes, is what I'm getting at.
Planes like
1910.
1910. Yeah.
Yeah. about.
1910. Yeah, okay, yeah, around like early 1900s thing because they in the story
Right.
they only
Yeah.
one nation, the Japanese, have like planes or something. So
No, there's only one nation, right? There's only one.
no, actually, it's a whole
in the
it's the whole
anime
fucking
is-
world, dude.
Oh, really? Wait, what the fuck? In the
Yeah,
anime,
dude.
I only saw there was like they were an island off the mainland, which was like the other humans.
Yeah. But
And then
that,
there was, like, one
that's not the
country
only.
there.
So that's another country, but that's not the
Oh.
only other country that exists.
Oh, wait, the anime.
Yeah.
Well, maybe because I didn't actually like fully watch it, but the implication I got was that those were the only two countries.
No,
But that's kind of interesting that the whole world is there. So it's just like on Earth then, right? Then, but these people
Yeah,
are just like an
actually,
island
if you look
off.
at the map,
Mm-hmm.
the continent they're on is Africa, flipped upside down, and the island they're on is Madagascar.
What the
Wait,
fuck?
what the fuck? Wait, are
Yeah,
you
if you flip
wait?
the-
Anime?
if-
Wait,
if you
did you watch it in the anime or the manga?
It's the same thing. So like if you take the Attack on Titan world and you flip like and you flip the map upside down, it's Africa.
You probably found this like on a Reddit post or some shit, right? Like,
I don't know. I forget where I learned this, but like if you look at it, it fucking looks like Africa.
okay. Well, I mean, whatever. Reddit post. This is not like common knowledge, I assume.
I don't know. I thought that was kind of cool. They're on Madagascar,
That's
basically.
pretty cool.
Okay. But yeah, like,
That's
Okay.
kind of interesting because Madagascar has always been very isolated, like in the real world.
is that
So that's kinda
maybe
cool.
that's why they chose? I mean, I don't know.
Oh yeah, it does look like that, but it's kind of off
Yeah.
because Madagascar is on the wrong side.
I'm posting
That
it
makes
in
sense.
the Discord.
Yeah,
Take a
yeah,
look.
yeah, I see
It's
it.
fucking Africa, dude.
Right, but it's on the wrong side. Do you see that? Like Madagascar is usually on the other side.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
If you flip the Africa,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
actually, it does.
Mirrored Africa.
Everything is mirrored though, because like,
Oh
Europe,
no,
Europe
no,
would
it's
normally
actually
be
right.
facing
It's on the
other
right
way.
side. It's on the right side, but it's completely mirrored. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it's not flipped. It's like
it's
they
mirrored
moved it.
instead of flipped. Well, okay,
Right.
it's.
Yeah.
I guess they flipped it like,
Like not the way that you would think. Like
Yeah,
you flip
exactly.
it upside down. They flip
Yeah,
it
it's
like
flipped-
left to
it's
right.
flipped
Yeah.
across the
Flipped left to right.
x-axis.
Yeah, it completely works. Like you can clearly see Spain and France and
yeah,
Britain, and you can see the Arabian Peninsula as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually like a very.
look,
it's literally
look,
just
look.
flipped.
It's literally Africa.
It's literally flipped. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
literally flipped. It's not. Yeah, it's not flipped upside down. It's like flipped inside out.
Okay,
Or, like,
I mean, it looks a little bit
left-
different,
left
but
to
yeah,
right.
it's like basically the same idea.
it's very similar.
Very similar.
Yeah. That's actually interesting because like Madagascar has always been very
Wait, is there
isolated. So that
do
makes
people
sense.
live on Madagascar? I don't even know.
Yeah. What the fuck?
In our world, I mean, I don't know this. I don't know this shit.
What the fuck?
It's been really isolated. That's why there's a lot of animals you can find on Madagascar they can't find anywhere else. So it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think I saw a thing where it's like lemurs are apparently like they operate in the daytime on Madagascar, but like everywhere else
And
they
a
just
lot
get
as
bodied by
well.
monkeys. So they like operate at night on like the African mainland and everything.
Right.
Interesting.
Anyway, monkey side topic. Wait, actually, that's fitting for us. Monkey side topic.
Okay, I mean,
Hey.
I'll go ahead and introduce this topic. So, today, like earlier, I was just watching this, but there was a show match between Cloud9 and TSM with all of their like original, not like completely original, but like some of their older rosters, in League of Legends. And so I wanted to talk about how long do you guys think like League of Legends, or more specifically, like how long do you think it will take for like esports to really hit like this extreme very mainstream stuff? Because like up until now, like the most popular esport before like League was like, StarCraft or whatever, and it really didn't hit like mainstream relevance. But like League is kind of getting to that point. Like how long do you think it'll stick around? And like do you think it will be the?
Well, I think it'll definitely stick around.
Yeah.
I hope it sticks around like as long as possible, like to become like a stable sport even. But like I would want to like sit down in my like 40s and then like watch League on the television, right? But like I think because sometimes just games just get less popular over time, I'm afraid it might not get to that point. But I wanted to get there.
Oh well, do you
guess
mean
what I'm
specifically League esports or
Yeah,
just esports as a whole?
Well, specifically, well, the thing is, like, you can't like even you say esports, but you don't really ever follow like the whole of esports, and then it's also very hard for like an
Yeah,
casual
because you follow
audience
one
to follow.
esport, and I like
Right, because you kind of have to like
sort
know
of
the
follow
game.
pro Overwatch, but I definitely don't follow like the League scene.
Right, yeah. So like if League ever falls out, like if League gets unpopular and then League esports stops, you can't just like start following the Smash game because it's like a completely different game, and you kind of have to learn how the game works.
It would be like you mostly follow esports of games that you like have at least like a like a small understanding of like how the game works, but like it would be like the same as like you don't follow esports in general. It's like the same as like you don't follow sports in general, right? Like you follow a specific sport.
Yeah.
But like the difference is like sports are more stable, so like you kind of like the rules of sports don't like fundamentally change, or even if they do, they they don't change very much. Like like the NBA, like basketball has changed a little bit, but like it's not like every fucking year they like overturn how the game is played. It's not like it's being played with like a fucking triangle now or whatever. Like
and then like the kind of an issue
Blizzard's
is that, like,
balance team is not in charge, thank God.
With like video games, it's just like you have to learn so much before you really know what's going on, right?
I would say like in sports,
to watch League, you actually have to buy League. Yeah, sorry, you don't buy League. You have to actually play League to watch League.
I think I thought that before, but one of my friends,
simple.
Like in college, who I'm like pretty close with, like he got into League esports without having played like any League, basically.
Right, but how long did it take him to actually understand what was going on instead of just like, oh, it's flashy and then people are killing each other?
Well, like he still doesn't like understand the intricacies. Like he probably doesn't understand of like how fights go and like cooldowns and stuff, like as well as I would, of course, because I played the game. But like he generally understands like how teams are good and like how like team fights and like how the entire map and like state of the game will shift from like time to time.
Okay.
So like even though he basically hasn't played any League at all.
That's interesting. Yeah.
I don't think that's like that common, but I think like because of that, I think it's possible that like I think if a game ever does reach like the mainstream and becomes like super popular as an esport, I think it would be League. Like I think that is the game, at least right now.
Like right now, I think so. Yeah,
that has the best chance.
It's also like it's easier to watch. Like I feel like I've watched Overwatch pro games before. It's like so confusing. I play FPS.
You probably
games
watched during the GOATS era, dude.
Dude, I play.
They had this
FPSs,
one meta that was
I
just
don't know what the
absolutely
fuck
dog
is going
shit.
on.
And they had like it was super hard to follow what was happening.
No. I watched the Overwatch League. It's like the one on YouTube.
Yeah, I know. But like, if you watched it, like before so I follow Overwatch esports. If you watched it before the 222 Rollock, you probably were watching GOATS, and GOATS is just dog shit. GOATS is just like literally vomiting
I don't know what
colors
that is. I watched
on the screen.
maybe like the last time I watched it was maybe like a year ago, like around that time.
Okay, that was probably GOATS then.
Okay, like I play FPSs and I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like I get the shooting part, but other than that, I don't really know what's happening.
Yeah, I find like League to be like one of the most interesting games.
Right,
like,
and then like
really, I find Overwatch easier to follow than League. I watched my friend play
game.
League once, and it's just
it's
like
much
just
easier
diarrhea
to follow.
of colors and shapes, and I'm like, okay. But
Also,
somehow
like
Overwatch
the point
makes
of
sense
view
to me.
like never changes in League. It's always like the top down, and then you see like that part. You see a part of the map. Like they zoom out, zoom in. That's the most it goes. But like stuff like Overwatch, they like changed to play like the player view a lot.
Yeah,
and then just like
they
jumps.
do, and like CS:GO too. Well, like
right,
but that was exactly Tiger's point.
I'm fine with that. I like that though. That's kind of like dynamic camera angles, dude. Man, you guys just not big brain enough to appreciate Overwatch. Fuck you all.
Yeah, I know exactly. Like sometimes I just want to like lie down and then just like have something on. Like I don't want to like think about it.
Well, okay.
Right? There's like too much stuff to think about.
Yeah. So Skyler, like that was exactly Tiger's point earlier about
like League is very simple.
League is like a hard game. Like you have to put in like basically enough time to have an understanding, because like it's not like intuitive like right away what's going on, because like there's a lot of like I guess like if you play other MOBAs you would kind of understand, but like if you don't have any experience in the MOBA genre, like you don't really know what's going on, because like there's like the game is like so different from other types of games that like FPS, it's like kind of simple. You just kill them, right? Like even I don't play FPSs at all, but like if I watch like FPSs, I can be like, oh, that kind of makes sense. What's going on? Like if somebody who has no idea about the MOBA genre, like it doesn't really make sense.
Right. I will say I think I watched Fortnite streams for a while when I was playing that. I thought those streams are really easy to follow. And not because like they just like other, well, it's not an FPS technically, but just like Overwatch, it changes player perspective quite a bit. But I think because the core like idea of the game is so simple that it's easy to follow along. It's just like don't die and that's it, right? The only thing you have to do is not
other
die.
people. Yeah.
But like I feel like in Overwatch and a lot of other games, there's like objectives. Like for example, in basketball, it's just like score, right? In soccer, score, goal.
Yeah,
but in League is like, oh, you have to contest a red buff.
But yeah, so like come down watching League is like watching football. Like football, like if you have like no, exactly. It's not clear what the fuck you have to do in football, right? Like there's so many.
But
rules.
That's it. Football is I don't know what the fuck is going on in football, but when I do watch it,
side to the other.
It's still very fun to watch.
I played a little bit of football at school before, and I still don't really understand the rules.
Dude, okay. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I have to say, when I do watch football, it's just like pleasing to watch. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just fun to watch these like huge people in like gear running at each other, and then this guy just like absolutely sprinting down the field. Like that's fun. Even if I don't know like what the tactics are, like it's still very fun to watch. And I think League is almost like that, where it's like it's easy to follow up, but like even if you don't get it, it's still kind of flashy, and then it's like they're fighting each other, right?
So, question to you guys: do you watch any like sports then?
Yeah, I watch a lot of sports.
I watch soccer. I watch. Well, I call it football, but soccer.
Yeah.
I was
thinking of American football the whole goddamn time. Were you talking about American football?
No.
Okay, so when I say football, I'm talking about American football. If I say soccer, it's soccer, and then if I say football, if I say you guys call it soccer, but I call it football, I'm talking about soccer.
Football.
Either way, I watch that like basically religiously.
I watch basketball religiously, basically as well.
Yeah.
Oh damn. Okay, so I'm not really into those types of things. I will watch like martial arts contests, but even then, not like a lot. I watch Kendo matches. I'll watch those, but
I watch like
baseball or basketball. I don't really watch that.
I got into like watching sword fight phase like a while back. Like it's like Kendo, but it's like sword. But it's like it's like Western. It's like they have like helmets. They have like actually like male gear or like plated gear, and then they like fight with like a sword.
It's bunch of role players.
Exactly right. It's like it's still pretty cool though.
Dude, okay. I don't know. The concept of those types of things is much more interesting to me than get ball in from point A to point B, right? And like I know it's not that simple, but that's just kind of what my brain boils it down to.
Well, okay, like I personally,
it's also like
that's kind of
way more wild shit happens in video games, right? Like, dude, if I Dragon Blade, I'm sorry, that's way more interesting to me than I don't know, what's his name, Tom Brady running really fast,
Dragon Blade
down the line or something.
No, Tom Brady is not
an Overwatch player.
Tom Brady isn't fast, but anyway, point is like
Tom Brady is quarterback, bro. What the fuck?
Yeah, he's also not very athletic, but anyway, like so I watch like for me like I watch basketball, like I watch almost every like when I have time. Actually, yeah, like if I'm not busy like during the normal school year, I'll just like turn on games. Like I'll just watch any game really, like but like I'll always try to watch Lakers games if I have time. And then like for football, I normally just watch the playoffs. But like so like I'm not like a huge football fan, but I'll like kind of follow what's going on throughout the season and like what teams are good, and then I'll basically watch the playoffs. But like for me, what's most interesting about sports is always about like the storylines, because like, okay, obviously like the
Like
highlights
pro
are
wrestling, Super Eye Patch Wolf. He talks about that.
yeah, like so like the highlights of like, you know, watching the best players in the world doing like incredible stuff, like watching like Steph Curry hit like those fucking 40-foot buzzer beaters, and you know, like the commentators like popping off and everything. That's like super hype. But like
Yeah.
I just enjoy watching a lot of this
I
stuff
agree.
just for like the storylines, because like I really think that like sports is like and it's like actually kind of what I like a lot about league esports too, is like I love watching the storylines of like some of these players, and like how like coming into the games they have like stuff to prove and stuff, like, if you know what I mean.
I think a bit.
So wait, you
where,
must
like,
love
League is a
sports
bit of a-
anime then. You must like.
No, I
be the
fucking hate
biggest
sports
IQ fan.
anime. I fucking
Dude,
hate
I actually
sports
like
anime.
sports.
Talk about that.
I actually like sports anime, but that's like back when I actually watched. Wait, I was gonna say, I think for basketball, I think the last few minutes of a close game is like infinitely more interesting
Yeah.
than the rest of the game. The
Of
last
course.
few minutes where it's like tight, so
Yeah.
hype.
It's
It's
super
like
hype.
there's like a timeout, and then you see the clock like run out, tick a little bit, and then it's super hype. It's really
Yeah,
cool.
'cause, like,
that's
okay.
like very very fun to watch.
The-
But I
the-
think like a lot of the time the first like 3 quarters are like not that interesting, but then the last bit is like amazing.
Yeah, like
That's like my experience watching
the last
basketball.
2 minutes of the last two
Right, yeah.
in-game minutes of a basketball game is really like 30 minutes if it's a close
Right.
game.
Exactly. And especially if it's like a playoff game, and
Yeah.
then you just like absolutely crazy. Yeah.
But
Super fun.
okay, so here's something very interesting about me. That like I guess it implies to a lot of things, but whenever I like to do something, and then there's like an anime or content creator who makes like stuff about it, I actually tend to not like the medium or sorry, the joining of two, like anime plus something I actually really enjoy. Because I don't like Pokemon, or I love Pokemon. I love anime. I hate the Pokemon anime, and I love
Dude, Pokemon
sports.
anime is so
Interesting.
good. Dude, I love the Pokemon anime.
Yeah, I love like basketball, and I love anime, but I hate like basketball anime. Like I hate sports
why?
anime in
Kuroko
general.
no
You
Basket.
don't like Kuroko? You don't like Kuroko?
And the reason I think for it is because like for Pokemon and like basketball, because like I like realistically
It's, like,
I
kind of
probably am a
ridiculous,
bigger
right?
fan of those things than the people who fucking made those things.
Yeah, that's true.
And I
like,
like
very
know it more
unrealistic.
intimately, like the rules, the like everything
So you're
like
a
that
fucking
goes into it.
elitist.
But like
No, it's true though.
It's
Like,
not up to, it's
no,
not
I
up to
think
Michael's standards.
no, I think it's true though, because like you understand it more deeply, and then like you see the characters do something, and then the plot is played up that the character did something super good, and then Michael's just like, well, that's just stupid because this is like really basic shit.
Or it's
like,
not
not
even
interesting.
basic shit. Like sometimes it's just like fucking wrong, and that's like kind of why.
Yeah, or it's like this is bullshit, right? Or like remember the character in Kuroko where it's like the characters were super tall, and then he could like block every shot that was shot like outside the 3 or something. Or, like,
it's
within-
just like that's
I watched it.
fucking
I was just like,
retarded.
this is just retarded. I know, like you might as well just have Superman just fly around the court at that point.
Yeah, so
I mean, that's just the anime isms, right?
yeah, but like
But that's not even an animeism. That's just like stupid though. You know?
exactly. So that's my point. Like
It's like
I
it's like
just-
if you have a swimming show. I haven't watched a swimming show, but you have this swimming guy, and then he has like natural flippers. It's just like no, that's not how that works. You can't just swim
Natural
faster
flippers?
than a shark if you wanted to.
yeah, and
like,
and so like
you
for
can't.
Pokemon, like there's there's like some infamous scenes, but like a lot of what is like established as like like for me, like I've been playing Pokemon like all my life, and it's basically like my biggest time commitment. It's like when people do like when it's like well, I mean you can laugh or whatever, but like it's just like they're like Ash is like incredible battler, and he just like does retarded stuff. He's like, yeah, just dodge those moves. It's like you can't dodge. You can't just tell your Pokemon to fucking dodge and they'll dodge, right? Like
Right, but so like in my opinion, that's not a fair criticism, because I think the show is
Yeah.
like not the same as the game.
Yeah,
like
it's
in the
not,
show
but-
you can ask your Pokemon to dodge, but like in the game it's a turn-based game. So you
yeah,
can't
yeah.
do that.
But like that's exactly the disconnect between
it's like it's like
because I
the
love-
one in like right.
yeah, because I
Sorry.
love the game so much, like having like something that's like kind of similar to it, but like it's just so
Okay, I see.
different. Like it like breaks kind of like the continuity of the games. Like or like when
I actually like the anime because of that. Like, you know how in the first gen, like Ash asks the Pikachu to like hit the roof or something, and then
yeah,
like
it's like
cause the roof to leak to beat the
yeah,
Onyx.
yeah, it's
Like, I
fucking
feel
aim for the
like
horn,
that's
right,
what
or
makes it
something.
more interesting. That's like what makes it more interesting. Like if at that point Ash is like, okay, then I'm gonna catch this water Pokemon to use Water Gun because it's super effective against Onyx. Like, that's not that interesting.
Yeah.
You
I
know
mean,
what I'm
I get
saying?
it from the perspective of like, okay, it's like popular, and because like I get why it's popular, but I just personally can't like it for those reasons as well. Like,
Right. Yeah. No, it's fair. Yeah, it's totally fair. Yeah. Have you guys seen Prince of Tennis?
no,
I've heard of it.
That was another like sports anime that I watched back in the day. And I
Did
don't
you
play
like it?
tennis, so like, yeah. Well, I mean, yes, but that was like elementary school back in the day, so that's a long
yeah.
time ago.
Oh,
Like for me, like anime or sports anime in general is something that I just like never enjoyed, and like it's like kind of an extension of like I don't enjoy shonen like anime either because
Oh
of like
yeah,
the
it's
general
quite
themes
shonen-esque, I guess.
of it like aren't really like interesting to me because it's just like yay we do stuff and it's cool and like I don't know, I just can't get hyped for it. It's like a lot about like the power of friendship and stuff, and that's like just something I just don't like.
Michael just hates the nakama.
Yeah, I hate the fucking power of friendship bullshit. Like it just like
Time to overcome my limits.
yeah.
Over 9,000. For me, it's just like, why would I watch kids playing volleyball when I could watch like superpowered mages with like these really badass magic attacks? Right? It just feels like a scaled down version of something more exciting. You know what I mean?
But I guess it's like supposed to be realistic, right, compared
Yeah.
to the other ones.
Well, yeah, which is I guess maybe the fantastical element that I prefer, which is maybe also might be why I prefer like video game esports to like regular sports, right? Like I said, like to me, just watching like a pro pop off and like just nanoblade 6 people is way more exciting.
I don't
than
know.
Steph Curry making a shot.
I don't know if you've seen NBA
whatever.
and then also try to play basketball, but the things that they do are basically fantasy to
Yeah.
like the rest of us. I'm just saying.
Steph Curry is basically a superhuman. Like
I don't know if you watched
I don't
like
know.
Messi
I just
dribble.
watched that and I'm like, yes, it's impressive
Like-
in that like I doubt I don't think many people could do that, but it's just not as cool. You know what I mean? Like dude, he pulls out a fucking katana and like just zigzags through and like just chops people to pieces. That's
Yeah, but
I
like
don't know.
Steph Curry just synced
That's
like
amazing.
a 40
Yeah.
yard shot.
I mean,
Okay,
like
not
or
a
like
40 yard shot,
Shaq
but,
fucking
you know what I'm saying? Right, yeah, like breaking the back.
yeah, or breaking the backboard or like fucking Michael Jordan
Like,
when
I
he
don't know
does
if you
like
see
the
that.
fucking under.
When that shit happens live on TV, you're just like, that's
Yeah.
more amazing than like any like fantasy show can offer, in my opinion.
But I understand where Skyler's coming from. Like
Right,
it's like
yeah.
about the aesthetic, right? And it's like yeah, like I understand that maybe even if I don't like agree with his opinion on that, like I can understand like why
Yeah,
he would think that
I
way.
guess so. Yeah.
That's
Please
why.
make Genji meta again, Blizzard.
All right. So we can move on to.
Dude, that was a long ass tangent.
That was a long ass tangent, but
That was a good tangent, though. That
Yeah.
was a good tangent.
we can talk about. Okay, how about we talk about like how influencers have, or sorry, how creators have influenced us, like in our lives.
Sure, yeah.
Like when we were young. So like, you know,
When
like
we were young. Okay, well, I can't
like-
talk about this. This is like, okay.
yeah, like when you were growing up, like what kind of people have influenced you to like shape the way that like you like kind of you know, either see the world or like that kind of stuff.
Damn, I don't think
Oh.
any creator influenced me. Creator influenced me.
Not to that extent.
When I was young.
Or I mean, it doesn't really have to be like how you see the world, I guess, but like just someone who like change. I don't know, just like someone you find influential that you like started watching, and that could be like the way that you see YouTube or the internet or whatever as well.
Yeah. Okay. I can go first. I was talking about actually Forest Fire 101. So I don't know if you heard of him, but he makes like Lego stop motions, and I watched him way back in the day. I think like when I first got access to a computer, and he would make these like really edgy, like Lego Batman shorts, I remember watching them and laughing my ass off. I don't know if I'd still laugh at them the same amount if I saw them now. Probably not. But like, it was just like a whole new world of like swears and edginess and like sex jokes and like it was definitely stuff I shouldn't have been watching. But I was smart enough to realize, I shouldn't be watching this. I'm not going to talk to my parents about this, and I kept watching it anyway. And it was that blending of like something childish, right? Like I saw it, it's like, oh, Lego, and I like clicked on that, right? With like the very kind of like Family Guy, Simpsons type humor that was like just edgy and in your face, and like like Batman would talk about like fucking Starfire to Robin's face, like it's just it was hilarious, and I loved it. I haven't watched his stuff in a really long time. I'm pretty sure he's still somewhat active on YouTube, and his filmmaking's definitely gotten a lot better. But I remember just like that started the door for me to just like. I definitely think it influenced my sense of humor, because I am like my sense of humor is still rather vulgar. Just when I'll pass the baton off once.
Okay, I can take it. So when I was first watching, like when I was a kid, like YouTube was like one of my favorite ways of like passing the time, and that's like really stuck with me. Like I'm still really big into YouTube, and like this was like the very very early days of YouTube, like right when YouTube was starting out and becoming big.
Wait, no. This is not the early days of YouTube, right? Like the early days is like what, like 2004, 2005?
No, this was like 2007, like when I first started
Oh, okay,
watching.
so it's actually pretty early.
It is like very much the early days. Like this was like when Let's Plays were just getting popular. And this was like, so the guy I watched was Chugga Conroy, and he was the one who, like really inspired me to like Nintendo games and stuff, and he was like a big influence in my life.
Well, it was that late. Okay.
Yeah,
all
so
right.
he was the reason actually. Like, so if you trace back, like basically why I became a weeb is basically because basically
so we can
because
blame him. Is what you're saying.
He like inspired me to love Nintendo, and because of Nintendo, I like looked into a lot more into Japanese culture and like anime and stuff, right? But like his love for stuff like Legend of Zelda, Pokemon, like Mario, like all these games, and like because of that, like a lot of his stuff has stuck with me, and like gaming in general was like a huge part of my life because like of this guy. And like I think it's like really interesting to see like how like influential, like I guess like a YouTube channel, just like a guy making videos online was to my life, like looking back.
Damn. So you wouldn't have been a weeb if if you never clicked on his video.
Yeah, like I mean, it very much could have just been like a normal guy who like just loves like FPS games or something. Like I could have just been like completely different.
Dude, Michael could have been completely different. Okay, that's kind of interesting. It's all based on Damn.
Do you think you
would have
influenced you to be this way, or that it just kind of revealed your love of anime? Like, do you think that was that he kind of influenced?
Right? Yeah. Like, do you think you would have liked anime like in the future, but maybe just like a few years down the line?
Well, I think it's like really hard to say, right? Because like I think
it's hard to say.
The first thing like that you're exposed to is like kind of what you like are kind of molds your personality. So like if I'm first exposed to like Nintendo games and stuff, like, and I grow to have an affinity with them and like that kind of idea, because like, you know, I think like Nintendo games in general are kind of lends yourself to anime because of like the more, I guess, like quote unquote childish or like younger audience for Nintendo games. But like, because I was like kind of growing up with that, and like a lot of my early years like being exposed to entertainment were with those, like it probably did like affect my tendencies. But like, so like now maybe it's the case that I still would have liked those things because like I've tried playing like FPS games and I've tried those like other stuff that like, you know, other people like, and I don't like them as much as like Nintendo stuff. But like it's very much possible that like because I was exposed to if I was exposed to like I guess like Halo or like Call of Duty or whatever when I was a kid, maybe I could have been like that stuff more. But I just like there's no way of knowing, right?
Damn! Imagine Michael as like a try-hard like CS:GO player.
That was low-key probably my image of him when I first met him. I was like, this kid definitely plays video games.
Yeah, definitely.
Really?
I mean,
I thought
I do play video games.
I
a
thought
lot,
it'd be
right?
like an FPS. I thought it'd be like FPS stuff too. I thought it'd be like an FPS god, dude. It's fucking I reached like Master Guardian Elite in CS:GO with a trackpad. Get on my level, scrub.
The trackpad.
Like something like that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like I'm much more of like I play turn-based games a lot, and I like the creative aspect of like games, I guess. Stuff like in like League and Pokemon and card games and stuff. I always like to build like stupid stuff and like try to like quote unquote break the meta or whatever. Like that's kind of what I really enjoy.
Yeah. Damn.
All right, Tiger, do you have a story?
Dude, for me, I don't know if any creators influenced me. Like I watched YouTube, but I never like watched a specific person long enough for I think for them to really influence me. I mean, there are definitely like I feel like people around me influence me, like my friends and shit.
What about like a
But
TV
I don't
show?
think
Like,
any
it
creators
could be
did.
any form of entertainment, I guess.
I always talk about like anime versus like Western TV show, but to be honest, I don't watch that much TV show. Like I watch, but like I don't watch that much. You know,
Yeah.
it's like maybe my third or fourth go-to thing when I'm bored.
So you don't think there's anything?
I think I'm influenced by a lot of musicians, but like that's not from when I was young, right? It's like more of a
Okay, but that's like
newer
a
thing.
creative thing. It's not like a worldview thing or anything. Like,
Oh yeah. So I wouldn't say any creator influenced my worldview.
what about like video games or other
Yeah.
hobbies? Like,
Yeah. Let me think. So YouTubers, I think the YouTuber that I watched the most is probably Vsauce,
how interesting.
which I haven't
Hey,
watched his stuff in a
Vsauce.
long
Michael
time
here.
because he hasn't made stuff in a long time.
I think hasn't he like gone onto like
Exactly.
other platforms to make like educational content, like Nebula or like Brilliant or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he also has like, yeah, exactly. So I haven't watched his stuff in a while, but he's probably the channel I most consistently watched for the longest time. And even that is like maybe like 2 years. Like
wow.
that's not very long.
So
Yeah.
Chugga Conroy, this guy I watched from basically 2007, 8-ish, like when he first started his channel, all the way until like 2013 is like when I like stopped consistent. I don't really watch him
Yeah,
anymore.
that's like 5 years.
But yeah, that was like 5 years. He was
like
like a
5
huge part of my
years.
life. He was like really the
Yeah.
only YouTuber I followed for like that entire duration. And
I think, yeah.
then like
I
after
think for
that,
me and Michael, also Giguk, right? Like we've been
Yeah.
watching Giguk for a long time.
but like more recently, like the creators that have influenced me like creatively in terms of like how I kind of see the world now is like, you know, Giguk for anime, but like I also have been watching like the Anime Man for anime stuff for a while now as well, and then also like Trump. I'm talking about, of course, Trump start. SC.
Right, you should say Trump
Yeah,
SC.
Trump SC or like
That's it.
Hearthstone Trump, basically.
He's a MAGA hat wearing.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, like, you know, Tiger was the one who really introduced me to Trump, but like he's been like
Right.
very
Yeah.
influential.
I
in
mean,
terms
you
of-
like Trump way more than
yeah,
I did.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
he introduced him to me in like what 2017 now. So I've been watching him for like 3 years.
No, way earlier than that. Like 2015.
2015? No, it was.
I
It was our
went to
junior year,
Canada
I think.
2015. Oh, really? Junior year? So that would be
2016?
2016?
2016 or 2017.
Yeah. But I was barely playing Hearthstone junior year, though. I feel like junior year was like, wow.
Yeah, but you told me to start
Like, Hearthstone from-
watching Trump. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, because I think I was like watching this. Like this was like around the time I started getting into watching Hearthstone. Like, because I watch a lot of Hearthstone now, but like I don't like play very much Hearthstone. I just like enjoy watching it, which is like something weird about YouTube. Okay, kind of a tangent, but like something that is like kind of weird is that for YouTube content, I actually tend to watch games that I'm like not very good at. Like I don't enjoy watching games that I'm like good at, which is I don't know if you guys have this experience, but like
You don't watch games that you're good at.
yeah. So like the games that
No, that you,
or consistently
you're
play.
good at, you don't watch.
Yeah. So like
that sort of makes
You don't
sense.
watch the
Like
game.
if you're just trying to
Wait.
experience the highest level of something.
so
And
the content that I watched, like I've watched a lot of, like, so I watched a lot of like Hearthstone. I watched a lot of like Mario Maker and like these types of games. And I like I've never played Mario Maker, even though I played a few of the other Mario games. Like intensively, but I've never played Mario Maker, and I'm not like a high level Mario player. I was like never like super into
okay, I
Hearthstone.
see.
But, like I love watching these kind
So
of.
in the same vein, it's like you don't watch competitive.
No, I hate
Pokemon.
watching Pokemon content actually.
Right, but is that because just like competitive Pokemon content sucks, or is it
could be.
because you actually just
It
don't
could
like
be,
it?
but like
Because I feel like if you were really good at League, you would still watch League. I feel like.
I was like never
Like,
really.
if you were
good at
like
League,
Diamond,
so
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like if you were really good at League, I feel like you would still
it's
watch
possible.
League.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, but I think it's just like a coincidence that like for the really really popular esports, you're also not that good at. It's not like no shade to
Yeah.
you, but yeah. It's just like
Well, okay.
that might be
Also,
why,
like
I don't know.
TFT, when TFT was really popular, and I was playing a lot of TFT.
Oh, you didn't watch
I hated
TFT.
watching
Okay.
TFT. Like I thought it was like terrible.
Okay, but to be fair, you weren't. I would argue you weren't that
Well, okay,
good.
I wasn't
would
that
argue
good.
I'm not that good at TFT.
Yeah, okay. But
Okay.
I'm saying like I was playing
So-
it a lot, and I was like,
Right. Okay.
I was like I wouldn't say
Yeah.
like I was really good, but like I was pretty good. Like I was like good enough to be whatever it was like.
Wait, what was your peak? Your
Like
peak was
plat
like what?
one
A diamond.
No, plat one.
Plat
It was
one.
like plat one. Which like it's not that good, but
I would say I was good, but I wouldn't even say I was really good.
yeah.
Because I think the scale just completely fucks up. Like the difference between like a GM with the master with diamond 1 versus
Yeah,
diamond
like
2
the difference
versus,
between
like,
like
a
dog
challenger is
versus
really big.
like somebody who is
Right, exactly. It's pretty
Yeah.
big, even though they're both insane. Like to me.
But yeah. Like my point is like like I was never interested in watching TFT content, even though it was like a game I was like relatively good at.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't know if you guys share that experience. Like
I was never very good at a game, so I don't have like you can say that you don't watch Pokemon, and that'll be fair, right?
Yeah.
Because you're really good at it, and then you also don't watch it. But I don't have a game where I think I'm like really good at.
Yeah, I agree, Tiger. I don't think I'm good enough at anything where to be like, well, because
Yeah, exactly.
if I have an interest in it, I would usually watch content on it. Obviously, not to say that I would watch all types of content about a given topic, but like, I mean,
Right. Yeah.
so okay, so I guess like for in general the content I watch is like in games that I don't normally play. In general, like Hearthstone, like Mario Maker. But the League is really the only exception, and I don't really play League regularly enough for me to say like I play League a lot. But like I'll play like a couple games like once every like week or two, maybe. And like I guess I watch League esports, like those kinds of things. Like I normally don't play those games, but I still watch a lot of content on them.
For me, the only gaming content I actually enjoy watching is League, like esports League.
Okay.
But I still do watch a lot of gaming content, but those are for games that I'm playing that I'm trying to like learn and get better
Okay,
at,
interesting.
and that's why I'm watching it, and not for fun. I think the only gaming content that I actually would enjoy that I do enjoy is League esports. But then I was gonna say this earlier, but I think for me, I'm like, if NA was really good, I would be more inclined to watch it.
Oh, like
know?
League esports, you mean?
Like yeah.
Interesting.
Like if NA was actually good, like to me, like a lot of times I don't even want to watch it. Like I don't want to watch EU because it's EU,
Yeah.
and same thing for
Okay.
Korea and China. Like the only thing I think I might watch is NA, but I feel like every time I do watch it, I'm watching these like subpar pros. play.
Okay, you
Like,
might
what the
want to
fuck?
watch Worlds this year then,
Wow.
because like C9 this year, this could be the first year
Uh-huh.
that NA has like
Really?
a real
You think
shot
so?
at winning the Worlds. Like I don't know exactly how good C9
Wait,
is,
who's on C9 now?
but they're like legitimately like a top 5 team in the world right now. Like that's like not even an
okay,
exaggeration.
but we said that for Liquid. Okay, we said that for
No.
Liquid.
Like I would never have told you that Team Liquid was a top 5 team in the world. Like
Really?
I was.
I'm pretty sure last season people argued that Liquid
Yeah, but
has
they-
a good chance to go to like the semis and
Yeah.
Right?
No. But like I'm saying, like C9
Because-
has a
because it's a
legitimate chance this
performance
year
at
to like
MSI.
actually win a world championship. Like I think it's like realistic
Wait.
and not like
Wait.
exaggeration.
TL got to the semis at MSI last year,
No,
right?
C9. Okay, so C9.
No. TL.
TL got to the finals of MSI last year.
Okay, and then and how were they eliminated from Worlds? I can't remember.
They didn't
TL,
make it out of
was
groups.
it group
They didn't make it
stages
out of
or like the?
groups.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
so I guess my point is that like NA constantly disappoints
No, but
like, to the point
C9
where like,
is
I don't,
different this year. Like
it's kind of
I'm telling you,
sad.
C9 is actually different.
Okay.
This year.
I mean, I'm gonna watch Worlds. I always watch Worlds,
Okay.
even because I haven't played League like in a long time, but I still watch his Worlds.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But
I'm gonna watch it, and I hope C9 does well. But it's just like, to me, like watching NA kind of sucks because like I know how much better the other regions are, but then I also don't want to watch the other regions because I don't really.
And that's the same
care
for
about
me.
it,
I don't watch other regions, but like.
Yeah.
Like, okay, C9 right now is on the most dominant split. Like, in the last 2 regular seasons, like, currently they're 8-0.
Who's on? Okay, I'm gonna search it up.
Last split, they were they went 17-1, and they only lost 1 game in the playoffs.
Wait, is Ven starting in C9? Isn't it hilarious? Players leave TSM and then they suddenly do well.
Yeah, it is hilarious.
Huh. I wonder why that's the case.
So like their roster is like Licorice and then Blabber, jungle, Niski, mid, and then Sven and Vulcan bot lane. But like,
so it's like a pretty proven
Yeah.
squad. There are no like new players. They're just like good old players.
and they like
good established players.
they basically have like best player in every position, and they're just like stomping every game in the league. Like none of the games they've ever played like have ever been in a position where like the opponent looks like they could win. Like it just looks like every single game they're just stomping their opponent. So like people are saying that this is like the best team that NA has ever had. Like so this could be
Okay.
the year.
I mean,
is what I'm saying.
I'm optimistic, but I'm also aware that they might disappoint.
like-
because I remember the stuff people said about
Yeah.
Liquid and shit.
and TSM and whatever,
And
but like
then,
okay, they realistically speaking, like the chance that they win Worlds is probably not that high because like they're probably like they might be slightly below the level of like the best Chinese or Korean or EU teams, but like they're like close to that level. So like it's the best chance. Like I would say this is probably the first year that NA has like a shot at winning Worlds because before like Team Liquid was never like a good enough team to ever beat G2, even like without just like getting extremely lucky, or like G2 or like that SKT or like that level of team, Phoenix Plus or FPX.
dude, I enjoyed watching the Europeans crumble during the finals. I was I mean that was very enjoyable. The fact that not the fact that Phoenix won, but the fact that it was Fnatic, right?
No, it was G2.
No, it was G2. It was G2. Okay, yeah. It was very enjoyable to watch G2 lose.
Interesting.
And especially since it was also in Europe. I don't know. That was pretty fun. That was pretty fun for me. They were like smacked 3-0,
Yeah,
right?
they got smacked 3-0. None of the
Absolutely
games are
wrecked.
close,
What
really.
the fuck? Yeah.
All this nerd talk.
Okay,
goes
now that
right
I'm
over
looking
my
at
head.
I'm looking at the Cloud9 roster,
Yeah.
right? I see Westress is there. That brings me back. I remember watching Westress shit in like season 2, like his Akalis and shit. Didn't know he was still around.
He was like on the coaching staff.
It's kind of insane. Oh, he's on the coaching
Yeah.
staff. Okay, because here it has it as the roster, but okay, that's it's pretty cool.
Okay,
Like he's still in the scene.
so we can move on to probably what time is it? Okay, so we have 20 minutes left. What do you want to talk about? We can talk about this one, I guess. Like, so Tiger posed this question earlier. What is a situation where like a traditionally good trait about you has harmed you, or a situation where like a traditionally bad trait has helped you? Like either or, I guess. And then Tiger can go first because he
You
was the
can
one
say
who came
both
up
or
with this
just do
question.
Okay, fine. So I think I'm gonna answer a situation where traditionally bad trait helped you.
Okay.
I think being like really arrogant or like overly confident helped me in a lot of situations. And not like specific situations, but like it helped me in the long run. Because I think if I knew how much I sucked at certain things, I wouldn't be doing it.
Well,
I wouldn't have done it.
I feel like
I wouldn't have
I
done
feel
it.
like
is my point.
arrogance is like I wouldn't even say it's like a traditionally bad trait in my opinion. Like I think like
Really? I think arrogant is usually portrayed as. I mean, it's almost. I feel like it's almost always said like, oh, that's not a good.
Yeah,
thing.
but like-
Arrogance to me is like confidence where you can't back it up. If you back it up, then
Exactly.
It's just,
Yeah, that's what
yeah,
I'm saying.
if you back,
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I back then, or like even now, maybe I thought I was like really good at something, but actually I can't even back it up. Is my point. But then there's a lot of things I wouldn't have done if I knew how much I sucked.
yeah, but like honestly, like I feel like that's hard to quantify because like I think like arrogance is something that like I wouldn't say it's like a necessarily bad trait is how I would put it because like maybe other people portray it as such, but like oftentimes confidence is something that like is very difficult to like I think confidence is probably the thing that's like most difficult to train in somebody, and like having it is like having arrogance is definitely like better than like being a wimp or whatever. Like you have no self-confidence at all, in my opinion.
Like for the individual, but like I feel like usually it's portrayed as like, yeah, this guy is arrogant, as in like this guy is kind of a dick,
Yeah.
or stuff like that. Yeah, but like I definitely like a lot of times I had like performed on stage and I just absolutely bombed. And then it wasn't just like, oh, every time I practiced it was good, but I just bombed on stage. It was like, no, I just suck ass. And then if I hadn't have done that, then I wouldn't have like gained the experience that I had learned from the experience. We're just like, yeah, I gotta like work on all of this stuff because I suck at
Is
it.
there like a situation specifically that you were talking about or like thinking about?
Yeah, sure. Like every time I performed on a stage for like anything,
Like
specifically like, okay, let's go back to Ken, right? Let's go back
Okay.
to Ken. Yeah, like I performed like this, sang songs at like the coffee house,
Yeah.
but like I absolutely sucked ass, right?
I thought you were-
If I knew how much I sucked, I wouldn't have performed.
I don't know. Like I mean, like it's different, right? Because like it's perspective. Like for the time at the coffee house, like you were pretty good compared to everyone else around you. Like
No, I think no. I'm talking about a few of the earlier ones. I don't even know if you were
okay,
there.
if I wasn't there, then I'm not
Like
I can't speak on it.
sophomore year. I think later I got better, and then it still wasn't good, but it wasn't shit. Okay, the first time I performed at coffee house, it wasn't at the common place.
Okay.
Fuck, what's that place called?
Yeah, student bar or whatever.
forgot what the
I
place
don't
called.
remember.
Right. Yeah. It was at I don't know if I can say this. It was at Hurrow the first time.
Okay.
All right. And then they didn't have a mic. So I was like, okay. And then I get there and then I have my guitar out and then I'm like singing, playing the guitar. After I finish the song, I like walk off, right? And then my friend's like, hey, did you know nobody could hear you sing? And I was like, no. So essentially just a bunch of people like listen to me strumming a guitar while like trying to sing for like maybe 3 minutes ish.
Yeah.
So I mean that's pretty stupid.
Well, I mean, like personally, I have experiences that are kind of like that. Like so, but like okay, so I'll speak on it like this. Like so, recently I've been starting to like draw in like anime style, I guess. Like, and it's basically me like practicing how to do it. Like, but I was like, I guess you could. It's a little bit different because I guess I wasn't like arrogant, but like I had confidence that I could do stuff. But like it takes like experience to kind of like get to that level where you're like actually good, right? But I guess would you like showcase the drawings you have now publicly and be like criticized that way now? Yeah, well, I mean, like there is stuff that I've put online of like my worst stuff and be like, I thought this was like decent, right? But then like now when I look back to stuff like that I've done like in the past, I'm like, okay, well that's obviously shit. But that's like. But I think online's a bit different, right? Because like it's the people you don't know, or like you do know, but like they don't really know you personally, and then people around you won't really know about it. But like, would you like post that on the bulletin board, like at your college with a picture of you next to it? Oh well, right. I mean, yeah. I guess like
would you do that for anything
in yourself? If you were super confident, you might, and maybe in that way you would have gotten some feedback that were like, really harsh, but then you wouldn't have gone if you weren't that confident. But I guess that's what I'm saying, Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. But I mean, at the same time, like I think like you have to have those experiences. Like
I don't even necessarily think that like it's only about like the feedback that you get, but it's also about like having the experiences, like
that as well.
doing
Exactly.
it. And, like when you look back
so the next
after like doing those things, like after I do a drawing or whatever,
of
like
course. It's not
if I look back to ones that I did like three drawings ago or whatever, like I can tell that it's like obviously bad, but like
right.
But it's not like it's obvious to me exactly at the time, and so like after you gain experience and stuff, then you get like better, and you can look back
it's not
and
just the
say like,
criticism,
oh,
it's
you're
also
that's cringe or whatever, like that's shitty, but like
yeah.
like you have to go through that
So I think
experience
that's
first.
one. So I think for me that's one like traditionally bad trait that has helped me a lot, and that just might be me being arrogant again. So
I'm a very like
see.
arrogant person. I have like a huge amount of self-confidence, I guess.
You're not. I don't think you're arrogant.
Really?
Like
You
doesn't
don't
want to show.
You don't think I'm arrogant?
I would not say.
He just
Before you
keeps
said that, I would
rejecting.
not say that you're arrogant. I would not have said that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think I have like a large amount of self-confidence, bordering / is arrogance. Like I just think like in general that I'm just
Maybe you
like
don't show
smarter
it
than
then?
most people. But like and like that kind of self-confidence I think is also like really important because like okay, so like for me, reaching the top of competitive Pokemon was like a lot about like I don't think I was ever like in a position, or like in the last few years at least, like the last 3 or 4 years, like I've always had the belief in every single match that when I go into it, that I believe that I'm better than my opponent, even if they have better results, even if they have have been like traditionally at the top. Like I go into every match thinking like I'm better than them because like if
That's
you
a good
have that kind of mentality, then you will
it's like a
have
winner mentality.
like a better chance at winning because you don't doubt yourself. You don't like think you don't start thinking about like, oh, but like he wouldn't.
No doubt in your mind.
No, but like there's doubt in my mind, but like not about like how good I am, right? Like I'm not like I don't go into matches thinking like whatever, and oftentimes like it is arrogance because like I don't play better than my opponent every single time. In fact, like a lot of the time, or not, I wouldn't say a lot of the time, but like there is like quite a few times where like I believe I'm much better than my opponent and they play better than me. But like the point is having that kind of attitude of like being arrogant or like having the full belief and self-confidence in yourself is like so important in these competitive games because like the worst thing that you can do, especially like in a strategy game, is to like basically second guess yourself and like not have belief in yourself because like then you just start making mistakes. And like
Now you sound like an anime protagonist.
But I think for competitive like sports and esports and just competition, that's oftentimes a good thing because like when you're confident, you kind of have higher expectations of yourself, right?
Yeah.
It's like a thing that like my parents told me or something. It was like I'm pretty sure you guys know as well. It's just like if you're like trying to get an A on a test, you should like aim for an A plus. You probably
exactly.
fail and get an A.
It's basically like
aim for A, you might just do a bit worse and get an A minus.
Yeah,
and that's not what you want.
That's exactly what it is, and like I think like that kind of attitude because of competitive Pokemon and like because of the fact that I've been competing for it, like I have that like mindset in like everything I do. So like when I go into like a class of like in high school or in college or whatever, like I just think that when I go into that class, I'm better than like 95% of the people who are sitting in that classroom. Like that's just the mentality I have when I go into this kind of stuff. And I'm like,
okay, so I would say that would be pretty arrogant, but you don't show it, which is why. Like you never told me like, oh, yo, I'm pretty sure I'm like the best student in this class.
Yeah, I mean,
but like, you never say.
I don't try to show it, right? Like because like you
like
just come off as an asshole if you say that, right? But like,
right, yeah.
But that's just like the kind of mentality I have when I go into like. So like when I go into my college coding class or whatever, I don't go into the class thinking like, oh, I'm looking to learn from all these people around me. I'm like, okay, I'm already better than all these people. I just need to get a good grade. I need to like learn from the teacher or whatever. And the teacher will be better than me, of course, but like I'm better than like all of these people sitting around me. So like there's no excuse for me to be getting a bad grade. It's about like performing, basically.
Damn. All right. Yeah. So I guess both of us is like the same. So we both picked arrogance with the.
I mean, I can talk about something else too. Give me a few minutes to think. So Skyler, you can go on yours.
Oh shit! I don't have anything, dude.
Okay, I'll give you a bad trait about you, and then you tell me a good situation. No, I'm just kidding.
That might actually work better, dude.
Okay, I have no idea what I would say. So.
No, yeah, I feel like the positive things I achieve in my life are due to my positive traits. And the negative things that happen in my life are due to my negative traits. Yeah, there's not really any time where that kind of crossed over.
No, but I'm saying, I know, but like that's of course most of the time is that. But I'm just saying, like,
I mean,
is
I
there a
should hope so.
situation where like one good trait has harmed you or a bad trait has helped you? Like,
feel
has
like-
being honest always honest kind of backfired once? Like you could have just told a white lie, but you didn't. And
Oh, that is actually kind of
like
true for me.
something like that.
Yeah, but I always come out the other side feeling like it was the correct choice.
Okay, so I guess you haven't been in a situation where.
Okay, I guess
telling a
the one
white
thing
lie
I can
really
say
would
is maybe
help.
like nice guy syndrome, where you're like trying to be too nice to people, and then like it just comes off wrong for them.
Uh huh. Do you have a specific thing that happened that made you realize that, or?
Yeah, I guess like if you
really.
get friend zoned, like that really sucks, and then you kind of think about that, like why did you get friend zoned, right? Like why, what in your conduct kind of led to that result? And you think that maybe like you just demeaned yourself too much, or you just made yourself overly available, or you were like just kind of too hesitant, and it sounds kind of weird to say, but almost like overly respectful. Even it's just like like because when you open up to people, like the boundaries kind of come down a little bit, and you can kind of jab at them and tease at them, and like have inside jokes, and like that personal kind of connection forms that way. Whereas if you're like overly polite and overly guarded, and overly distant, and even though those could be like traditionally good traits, like I think that comes off as like
I think
not
like
standoffish, but like almost like just like a sort of facade, and like that makes people uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I think like romantic stuff is like it's like very different, I guess, than the traditionally good traits that like you would have with like normal.
I think
personal relationships.
oftentimes it's said like being super nice is actually not a very good thing.
Yeah.
Right. It's like a bad trait. in
Yeah,
that
right. Like
situation.
the common
Right.
phrase "nice
It's
guys
not a
finish
good trait.
last." Right. It's like
Right.
I get it, but I don't because I'm not a woman and I don't get it. Right.
There's a
but
joke.
I can observe the empirical reality that often seems to be the case, and
But I think
people
it's more
who,
so.
like-
It's not being nice. It's just being very like kind of you say like very too respectful of
like
bound
simpy. You know what I
boundaries.
mean? Like simpy. Like that's just
Like I guess yeah exactly.
comes
Like the
across as
point is like
simpy.
when. Like I think you have like when we talk, we're not like that nice to each other. Like we're
not
we're
at
not
all.
mean, but like right, exactly, yeah. Like we make fun of each other and stuff. But I think that's like why it like goes wrong when you because like you don't really do this if you're trying to like
No, because
ask
like
a girl out.
yeah,
right?
like you're too scared, right? Like that's just how it is.
Right. Yeah.
Because you want it to go well, and this is like how
Right,
you
exactly.
like you think it's like weird behavior, like, and I think that's like it's completely fair.
when you overly
Yeah.
correct your own behavior in consideration of
Yeah.
the person you're interacting with, then I think it becomes a bit of a problem.
Right.
Obviously, you don't treat everybody the same, and I don't treat like my guy friends the same way I do my girlfriends, right? I mean,
Yeah,
one
I
or
mean,
two kind
obviously.
of like straddle the line a little bit, and I'm like, I can like crack the occasional sex joke, and they don't like look at me like I'm trash, right? Like those people are cool. Like
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
I
no,
guess.
So I guess it's like traditionally like not a good trait. You know what I'm saying? Like in that case.
okay, I'll give him a pass.
like
It's,
you always
okay.
gonna-
It's
okay.
okay. It's a hard question.
You don't have to. Don't
I would have to really think about this. I think.
Well, okay, so you brought up like about like white lies and that kind of stuff. Like, so, I mean, I would say that in general, like one thing that actually I guess I don't know if I should be talking about this, but like I think like my relationship with like
cut it
very
in
close
post.
people. No. It's not because I don't know. Like I think that it might be a topic that is a little bit weird to talk about, I guess. But like my like relationships with like my close family, I guess, is like pretty not that, or like it's not that good because like partially like it's because I'm not like I'm a person who's like very willing to tell the truth, and sometimes like I think in very close relationships it's like not the best thing to do that, if you know what I mean.
So I read something about that I thought was interesting.
Maybe?
It was basically,
I don't
the
know.
person was saying people who are brutally honest sometimes place more emphasis on being brutal rather than honest.
Maybe. Maybe that's and I think like in close relationships that's maybe how the other person will view it, because like they just see you as giving criticism and they just think like, well, I didn't really want to hear that today or whatever, and then they take away the part that they're trying to like improve or whatever, but like to more just like,
But I think right,
stop
like
being an
sometimes I
asshole.
feel like sometimes telling like the 100% truth is not a very, very good thing, you know?
Yeah.
It's also the way you tell the truth, because like when people talk, they talk with more than just their words, right? Like there's your tone, your facial expression, your body language, and all that. So like, even though you may be saying the literal truth, maybe the intent that perhaps you don't even understand behind it is like the intent being conveyed is different.
Yeah, that's totally
not,
fair.
Maybe not different, but like more layered, right?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I mean, I think this is like it's a relatively hard question to answer, because like,
yeah, I mean it's more of a like a thought, like what do you think, you know? Kind of thing.
yeah.
Well, let us know, dear viewers, if you prefer kind of pensive and thinking shitposting rather than just memeing shitposting all the time.
Well, I mean, like,
how many subscribers? 9 subscribers that we have right now, half of which are like us.
I mean, like, well,
hashtag exposed, dude. Inflated subscribers.
I mean, I just think like, or do you have any experience with like the self-confidence part, the arrogance? Because I think like this is not necessarily like a.
Yeah, no, I feel like Skyler, like I always thought Skyler was really good at like making shit, like, you know, like making stuff. Like you built your own table in high school. Like I thought that was really cool. So did you go through a phase of like really being really bad at that, but thinking you were good?
No, I mean, like before I did like larger stuff like that, I made like paper crafts for like my toys and stuff. Like, and even to this day, I look back on some of the things I created, and I'm still like slightly impressed by myself, I guess. I'm more.
So,
like,
do you think? So I think you're really good, but do you think you'll look back one day and think that you're in that phase right now?
That I was overconfident in my abilities?
Yes.
No, because I don't actually think I have very high estimation of my abilities. I think I have a really real, close assessment of what I can.
But I think
do.
like a bad,
I think
like
external people it probably looks better than it is. Like you probably have a better opinion of my abilities than I do. But I feel
maybe
like mine would be more
I
accurate.
think like the vast majority of people on this earth cannot make a table if I ask them to.
Yeah,
like, I'll give them the tools, but they can't make a table that actually
God,
works.
I fucking
I think
hope so.
like-
It's like 4 legs and a
they can't.
countertop.
No, I know for a fact. There's no fucking way.
I think
Right?
like
There's no fucking way.
for stuff like that, it's like, okay, maybe this is not true and I'm talking out of my ass, but like it's possible that when you have like a physical result at the end that can be like relatively measurable, and the person who, well, okay, so like Skyler probably knows like how good he is because like he knows where he made the mistakes and like where he can improve, right? So like and there's also like a physical result that at the end that he can like kind of judge by. But like with stuff like music or art where it's like a lot more subjective, like I think it's harder for like you to know how good you are yourself, because it's also like opinionated.
Have you
right?
guys seen the thing where it's like there's like a few stages? At first, you don't know that you wait. It's like wait, fuck. You don't know that you suck, and then you suck, or like you think you're good, but you actually suck, but you don't know that, and then the next one's like you know you suck, and you also suck, and then the next one is like you know that you're good, and you're good, and the next one is like you don't know you're good, but you're actually good, like unconscious. I don't know. I'll find a thing.
Yeah.
I'm like describing it horribly here.
Well, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's like
Maybe,
it's kind of
it
like
depends on the observer. Yeah.
It's kind of like the 10,000 hours to mastery thing. Like if you guys have heard of it.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
So basically, it's the idea that like to ever achieve mastery at a single thing, you have to have spent 10,000 hours at it, and a lot of times the first 1,000 hours, you don't actually even know what's going on.
Oh,
like once
I
you pass that
found
barrier between like the 1,000 hour mark and the 10,000 hour mark, you recognize that you're like how good you are. Basically, like you recognize there are people that are much better than you, and then at 10,000 hours, you basically actually become good. So like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
And then when you're
Yeah,
at
that,
the end
that's
of those
actually a very
10,000
good
hours, do you
rule to go by, I
recognize that
think.
you're good?
yeah. So basically,
Well,
when you
if you
read,
use your
okay,
10,000
it's obviously
hours
like
correctly,
approximation, right? But like,
right?
um,
Right.
okay, so like I don't know, like I guess we can talk a little bit about it. Like, is there anything that you think you have reached that 10,000 hour mark and have actually reached mastery in? Like,
No.
no. For me,
No.
it's Pokemon.
Nope.
Like I've spent probably like longer than 10,000 hours. Like I've probably spent like 20,000 hours or whatever in the game.
Really?
Yeah,
20,000. Do you know how long 20,000 hours is?
dude, I
No way,
play
right?
Pokemon every fucking day of the last like 10 years of my life. Like,
But how long every day?
well, okay. Actually, I would have to like
On
look at
average.
exactly how long 20,000
If you
hours
think
is.
about it,
I might be
it's
like talking out of
insane.
my
It'd be
ass.
833 days,
38
which is
833 days. Okay, so let me think.
Yeah,
So
so-
I have like
There's no way. I feel like there's no way, right? That's
okay,
like more
probably
than
not
2 years of
10,000.
only playing
Maybe
Pokemon.
not
two
10,000.
years.
Like
Okay.
I
I
was
if you've
thinking
been playing
10,000
every day
hours
for the
already a
last
lot,
10 years.
but like you have to play a lot still.
Like,
Yeah,
what would
it
you say
would
is your
still be.
average?
So
Average
that
time.
would
I mean-
require me to play like 5 hours
Wait.
every day. Then by that math,
Yeah,
Something
that's
like
like
that.
impossible. I feel like that's
2.2
I don't know, I
years.
feel like that's kinda impossible.
22%. Yeah, like it would be like okay. So I'm definitely talking on my ass, but like maybe
quick
10,000 hours.
quick maths.
1,500 hours, maybe.
Like I did a math. Like I was like, how long do I have to sing every day to get to 10,000
10,000
hours? I'm like, this is not literally impossible. So I'm like, I'm hoping I don't actually need the 10,000
Okay,
hours
yeah,
to get
but-
that good.
I guess.
But, so-
So what
Those
the
are
thing
like
is about
actual masters. Those are like people who singular. That's like Michael Jordan basketball levels of like
no,
singular
it's
focus.
it's
you know
not
what I mean?
though. Like
It's not. Yeah. I would not say
Like-
it's that.
Is it not?
It's
No,
not.
10,000 okay, so
I would
we-
say to be like mastery in something, not
We were-
not the best in the world, but like mastery. You know what I'm saying?
we were talking about like the talent versus hard work in the cut episode, right?
Yeah, like
But-
this is not the talent. This is not about being the best in the world. This is about just being a master of something.
Yeah,
like
so
really understand
my
everything
opinion-
and know and master everything about it. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, so like in my opinion, 10,000 hours is basically what you would do to reach the top 50 in the world or whatever, or not like top 50 in the
no,
world,
not
but,
even, not even.
like top 1% in the world. I guess it depends on what
Okay,
you
yeah.
do, right? But like,
top. Well, definitely the top 1%. But I don't think you need that much to be the top 1%. But yeah.
like it depends
Yeah,
on
but
subject,
I get what you're
etc.
saying.
But like
right.
10,000 hours is basically the idea of like you can reach that level of like 10,000 hours is like technically an approximation, right? But like to reach the level of 10,000 hours is like not many people actually put in that much effort, and it's like when you can kind of truly understand where like how good you are, I guess, and like where like what kind of position you're in, like in terms of like the scale, and like you have like a full understanding of like how like everything works within like that subject matter.
I mean, if you think about it, it's really insane. Like I did something, I was like, it's actually impossible for me. Like if you practice for like 5 years, you need like 6 hours a day
Yeah.
on average.
Okay, so
Or like for 4 years, 6 hours a day. Or like that's not really like 5 hours a day for 5 years, and then you're like almost there. That's like kind of insane.
I only have like 250 hours on Genji. I have to keep going.
yeah, so for Pokemon, for me, 10,000 hours would be basically 13 years, which is when I have been playing Pokemon, like 2 hours a day. So I probably
But
actually
I feel
haven't
like-
even reached
But I
that
feel like
10,000 hour
like a
mark.
lot of your early years, you weren't really playing competitive Pokemon.
Yeah,
And I think competitive is very different than just like playing Pokemon. Like not
Well,
even
yes
close.
and no, because like it's also about like absorbing the mechanics and stuff. So like I would say like that maybe that first 1,000 hours I was only spending like 10% effectively or something. But
Sure. Yeah. So like if you think about 10,000 is really a lot, and,
Yeah,
and
it
I
is
think
a
that's a
lot.
pretty good goal. It's a good goal to aim for. Like if you really want to be good at something in your life, you should like aim for that.
I think it's possible that I've reached 10,000 hours actually, but I'm not 100% sure for Pokemon. But I think
Just,
it
just
is.
think about all the days you didn't play, right? Like, or like you
What?
played a little bit. Just think about all the days you didn't really play, or like you
Well,
played a little bit.
okay, no, but I'm like
Like
thinking
you were
about like
too
because
busy on a
you
day, or
have like
like
an in-game time for Pokemon.
How do you
oh,
also
okay.
not get bored of Pokemon?
Uh, well, competitive Pokemon is like significantly different from. Okay, so like I'm not playing the same game every single time I'm playing this, right? Like, okay, the
Yeah, of
majority
course.
of the time I'm playing of this would be on Pokemon Showdown, and so a quick like idea of like how competitive Pokemon works is okay, so there's two real types of competitive Pokemon. There's VGC, which is like the Nintendo officially sanctioned one, which I more recently got into, which is like 2v or like it's doubles, so 2 versus 2 like on the field, and it's 4 versus 4 like in general. You like bring a team of 6 Pokemon, and then you select 4, and like this one is like it's a relatively stable format. It changes year to year, but the one I spent the most time on is like singles Smogon stuff. So why it's very different is because okay, obviously there's like releasing new Pokemon and that kind of stuff, but also how they do it is instead of there just being like like one way of playing the game, they basically split it up into different tiers. So the tiers
Right,
all have
right.
different like Pokemon. So like you can own like Pokemon in the higher use. They split it up by usages. So like in the highest usage tier, like would be like all the stuff that is like the best stuff. But in the lower one, it would be like, okay, here's a new meta of a different set of Pokemon where you can't use all of the best stuff because like
Right. Yeah.
that's just like not allowed in this tier. So like it changes the way that you have to play the game. So like you can spend a lot of time on it. So like I guess even in that sense, then I haven't even reached mastery in anything because like all of the different types of tiers that you play will change. Like it changes kind of the way that you play the game. Well, like there's obviously like still like an overarching like ideas throughout the anything that you play within Pokemon, but like I just mean like at one specific thing. So like it's like different from like chess, where if in chess like the game is stagnant. So like if you spend 10,000 hours playing chess, all 10,000 hours are contributing towards you being better in the next game. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, like, I guess what are you guys?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess this is the last thing since we're already like a little bit over time. Do you guys? What do you guys want to reach that 10,000 hours in? Like next,
For
I
me,
guess.
it's like music production slash songwriting, but not okay. Actually, I shouldn't say songwriting, but it's more production. We're just making music, I guess. But it's kind of hard because a lot of the things that you have to do aren't like translatable across. Like singing is way different from writing, which is way different from production. So like I almost have to like get there with all three, which is like not gonna happen. So, you know.
Okay, Skyler.
Yeah. Skyler's went. He went to the bathroom.
Oh, he did. I did not.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I'll talk a little bit about myself. Then
Yeah.
the two things that I would want to hit 10,000 hours in is one is Japanese, and I think this is kind of where the proverb came from, or I don't know if it's a proverb or whatever it is, but like the idea of 10,000 hours is like in a language is like 10,000 hours in a language will get you fluency or native level fluency basically. So if I want to hit I want to hit 10,000 hours in Japanese, like personally.
Yeah.
Just
you would have to move to Japan for that, then, right?
Yeah, it's possible. I don't know if I would ever be willing to do that, but like it's just like a goal of mine, right?
Would you would you want to go through that? Because I know Japan has a very harsh immigration law. Very, very.
Oh wait,
harsh.
no, I've heard that I've heard that they actually have been like relaxing immigration laws because of their like a lower population increase rate or like birth rate and stuff.
I mean, it'll be interesting.
I've heard that it's like easier to get foreigners.
But that's it. From what I've been reading, actually, like far right movements in Japan have been doing pretty well. Which
okay,
would,
so I'm not too sure, but there's also like
harsh.
a lot of other complications. I don't. It would have to take like a really good opportunity for me to move to Japan because like I'd rather still live in the U.S. for the most part. But
right.
Yeah, it's just like a goal to reach eventually hit 10,000 hours there. And then the other thing would be game development. I think that's like a hobby I'm very passionate about. And if I could
Yeah.
ever reach like the level of mastery for that,
But
that'd be, like,
what
really
what
awesome.
specifically about game development? Because I think game development is kind of like music in the sense that you can't just say music
Yeah.
creation because there's so many different things that you need to worry about. So
I
like,
think
what
for me, it's
aspect
like
of game dev?
design. I think.
Game design.
Yeah.
So for that, would you have to spend 10,000 hours to designing games? Because that's like, because I feel like a lot of
I
times
know,
when you
it's
do
hard.
game dev, you're not like designing the game. You know, you're like
Yeah, that's true.
doing something else. It's like,
I
so
mean,
it's like, I don't know. That's like kind
it's
of
really
insane.
hard to say, but like,
Yeah.
I guess it's just like a goal that I want to improve on and like
Right,
eventually
right.
reach the level of mastery. Like whether or not that's like I could ever do that is like a different story, I guess. But it's like
Right,
more of
yeah,
like a
yeah.
goal.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, then
that's fair.
Skyler.
What about you,
What
Skylar?
about you?
Sorry, what was the question?
Okay, so if you like we're talking about 10,000 hours, like basically reaching mastery level. So Tiger's talked about like songwriting and song production, and then I'm like I said like Japanese and like game design or game development. Like what would you aspire to reach 10,000 hours or basically a mastery level in something? Like whether or not it will actually happen in your lifetime isn't like the point.
Probably like
what do you
I
aspire
mean, this
for?
this I intend to sink as much time as necessary until I become mechatronics engineering. I mean, that's basically
Wait,
what I'm
what type
structuring
of
my degree
engineering?
around.
Sorry.
Mechatronics, mechatronics, which is like basically electrical
yeah.
and mechanical systems.
I see.
Okay.
Just basically what I'm structuring my engineering degree around. I guess side note, I'd also want to be a master in like the martial arts that I practice. That would be nice, you know, like Taekwondo, Kendo. Maybe
Damn.
pick up Muay Thai again. But
Can I ask
those
a
are
question
lower
about
priority
that? For like
about-
those
yeah.
Asian martial arts, are there weight categories?
So actually, I don't know if we want to get into this because if we're going to wrap up soon, but
We can talk
Kendo,
about this next time. man,
it's
if you want to. Actually, it should be fast. Sorry.
for Kendo, it's separated by rank. So like if you're within this set of ranks, you
Okay.
can compete together at this together ranks. So
That would make
like,
sense.
one
Kendo's
of my
not that-
seniors had to compete against a really fucking big guy, and he won, which was hype as fuck, right? It was like a David versus Goliath kind of moment. But
Right, but like you don't
Yeah, I
you don't get an advantage if you're taller in Kendo, right? Or like you're heavier in Kendo. You don't get an advantage. Right?
you do if you're taller. You
do?
because
Okay.
your arms are usually longer, therefore you have more range.
Then what about like if you're like fatter?
You're fatter.
You don't, right? I feel
You-
like you
so
don't get an advantage. Like if you're
after the
fatter
ini-
slash heavier.
in
is my point, I
Kendo,
guess.
after the initial clash, there's like a bit of like a shoving match, like where you guys are kind of too close range to actually swing at each other, and there's a bit of like a shoving match there. And for that,
see.
that's being heavier and stronger is an advantage there. Like so, like in my club, I'm reasonably confident that nobody could really beat me at that phase of Kendo. But like, obviously, like that's right.
Skylar and I are both like Snorlax. We're like we don't mind.
But no, I mean
about
it's
if
kind
you're
of funny because
physical
like you can think of
attacks.
it as like almost like an RPG, and like the your speed type characters, and I'm like a tank class character. But like the benefit
Skylar
of
and
that
I have both have insane constitution.
I mean, I've legitimately used that to my advantage in matches before. Like, so to score a point correctly in Kendo, you have to demonstrate what's called Zanshin, which is basically like follow through of the strike. So you strike the opponent and like move through them, and unless they're like fast and kind of like deflect off me to move through me, I can like kind of basically just stop their strike in its tracks. And I've used that to my advantage, and I've basically like shoved people out of the ring, but like not exactly. You know what I mean? Like I've like cornered them. So like
Skyler just fucking bullying kids. Like I
No,
can
I mean,
imagine
like,
he's just like
it's just like if I'm not as fast, but my defense is strong enough where he can't like score on me effectively, and I just keep closing in. Like he has unless he like tries to like dodge around me and try to escape, like he has fewer options to escape.
Skyler's just
I've
like-
used that to my advantage to. So like if you leave the ring, it's what's called a hansoku, which is like a violation of the rules. It's basically like it's like soccer where you get like yellow card,
Yeah.
red card kind of thing. And
Yeah.
if it's two violations, it's a point to your opponent. So
Okay.
I haven't gotten a point off
can
this,
you-
but I have gotten like people to commit violations by
Okay.
leaving the ring.
Skyler's just like 50 pounds bigger than the other guy. Just
Dude,
like fucking
I'm just a
bullshit
unit,
over
dude.
him.
I can't be moved. I just stand there, boom, and then they shove into me, and like I'll push back. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skyler's ultimate
Can you
move.
just push
his
them
fucking
right out of
superpower.
dude, I remember one
the
time
ring?
in Taekwondo,
Just like
for a
make
promotion
them
exam,
fall.
this one chick had to
Hey,
fight me,
enjoying
and I
Kendo?
could just see her like, oh my god, I have to fight this thing, like, and it was because it was funny because she kicked me and she fell over, and I just stood there, just kind of awkwardly, being like, all right, you get there, like,
Wait, when somebody pushes you in Kendo, can you like push back really hard, just like to make them fall?
yeah, that's
Can you
happened
not do that?
before. So the rules are not like super clear cut on that. It's like if you're obviously just like not trying to do kendo and just like going at them to shove at them, then they'll be like, yeah, no, that's not allowed. But like
Aw,
shoving
come
one
on.
another,
Why is that not
a part of
allowed?
kendo.
That's
mean, like, if
totally
you watch-
allowed in like an actual sword fight. You can just like run into them.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
Kendo's
like,
not actual sword fighting though.
kendo is not actual sword fighting. Kendo is like,
But it's like-
a much more distilled form of it, and
Okay.
It's like a
in some ways
Is
it's,
Kendo-
it's a bit more limited.
I'm not
in
sure
structure.
about. I actually don't know
But
about
actually-
the history of this. But is Kendo like kind of like the Samurai's class game or something? Like the old. I have no idea. I'm asking.
I'm
just like saying.
I
shit.
was. It was born out of I think the Japanese people's desire to keep their bushido.
Oh, so
like their,
okay, so it's
But
actually
like, I don't know if
relatively
it's
newer
restricted
thing.
to samurai class people.
So it's a relatively newer thing. It wasn't played like through like a few hundred years ago. It was not played. It's like a newer game.
I would say maybe like this is my uneducated relative newcomer guess, but probably like 200 years tops, maybe. I don't think it'd be older than that.
Okay. So it's
Okay.
like relatively new, actually.
yeah, that's pretty new.
That's interesting.
If you want, so basically what I've heard is that if you want to learn actual sword fighting, you should actual Japanese sword fighting. You should learn kenjutsu, which I want to do, but I don't have an avenue for that right now.
Okay, I see.
Okay, well, I mean, like, I guess it's like kind of weird to think about, but like, basketball is only like 100, like.
Yeah, but
less than 200
basketball
years
is like
old.
an actual sport. But Kendo is like it's a sport, but it's also like it's like a cultural thing.
Yeah, I
It's a
guess.
martial art. Yeah,
I would have
there's-
thought it
there's
was
a-
like a traditional.
There's an
thing.
almost performative aspect to it.
Right. Okay. You're right. Like I would have thought of Kendo as like as a like a traditional thing, but here I mean Skyler's saying it's like not that
Okay,
traditional.
I mean, yeah, that's fair.
It's like relatively born out of like the modern world.
I'm pretty sure something like Iaido, which is like basically the art of like drawing the sword and attacking at the same time, is older than Kendo. I mean, don't quote me on that, but pretty sure.
Don't quote me on that.
That means
Alright.
you're quoted on.
Yeah,
Alright,
you
so
should.
I'll wrap this up. So, okay, thank you guys for watching. This episode probably ran a little bit longer, like maybe 10, 15 minutes longer. So I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll probably be back next week. This will probably be the only time that we do an episode like very close to one another, just because it's like a special, or like I think in the future it's
Just-
probably going to be like more separated because we don't have as much to talk
Yeah,
about.
our original episode 2 got fucked, is why.
Yeah, so we wanted to get
Ooh.
some more stuff out. So if that's all, I don't think we have
Wait.
anything else, right?
Wait. Your qualifier games are tomorrow?
Yeah. So
Okay.
for me,
Tournament
it'll
luck
be
begins.
begins,
that.
boys and girls.
top
with that.
256. Well, okay, it'll be top 256 to top 64 will be tomorrow. So
So
it's
we'll know
like
if
a
you
double M
qualify.
bracket.
So we'll know if you're qualified by the end of tomorrow.
No. Like it's top 4 qualifies to Worlds, but it's basically held in stages. So one will be next week, or one will be this week, and then one will be next week, and then the week after. So,
Oh,
but
so
it's like
wait,
a double.
so
limb
next week
bracket.
is what? The next week is what? It's like top what?
It's top 256 to top 64, and then
So,
from top
okay.
64 it will go to top 16, and then top 16 to top 4. So if I come back
Wait,
next,
so you're only playing one round tomorrow?
no, it'll be playing 3 rounds. It's a double limb bracket. So, well, okay, it's like it depends
But
on
if you-
how
okay.
much I win or lose. But like
I
basically,
see.
if I like to stay in winners, I would need to win 3 in a row.
Okay.
So-
So unless you get eliminated, we won't know if you qualify until 3 weeks from now.
Yes, technically, but
Okay.
next week, okay, it'll like also change my position, right? So like, if I stay in winners, then I'll be in an easier spot, right? So like, from top 256 to top 64, it needs 3 in a row to win from winner side, and then, but like, if I lose round 1, then I would need to win 4 in a row to stay in the tournament, and then like, I would need to win even more in the next week and even more because like, losers matches like stack up basically.
I see.
Because you have to play more rounds than losers if you're familiar with double 11. But yeah, I think that's about it. I'll let you guys know what how I do. But if that's it, then we'll see you guys next week.
All right.
I stopped recording.